Hey guys, what's up? It's Pseudo Pluto here, and I thought I would do a fun behind the scenes type of video. So I want to go over some of my analytics and then reply to the backlog of comments that I have over the past couple of months. I actually recorded this video previously multiple times, but then my previous computer crapped out while recording OBS videos, and so that's why I built a new computer. But we're finally here. We got a lot of comments to catch up on, and just some general thoughts on the channel to go over. So let's go through here. Let's remove this. It'll be interesting to see how much of MicroOS will be used into ALP for the best. Yeah, basically it's like a weird chain. So from what I understand, the underlying technology was developed by uh, there's like multiple iterations within like the OpenSUSE camp. I think it was called like Cubic or something. They made this immutable version of Tumbleweed, and that's being used to develop Enterprise Linux ALP. And then since like the current Leap release is like the last Leap release, they're um, seeing what the replacement for Leap would be based off of this new ALP platform. So it's really interesting times for OpenSUSE and SUSE, and I wish them the best and everything. Awesome technology. Uh, yeah, wish I just had more time to just buckle down and commit to it. Probably in the next couple of months, if I'm being honest, but I'm waiting for stuff to shake out. You don't need Java. It should be. Yeah, so this is weird. So I think for like the new Minecraft launcher, they bundle in Java. And if not, it gets pulled in anyways via Flatpak. So from what I understood, you don't have to explicitly install Java. Okay, this comment is a bit interesting. Plasticky and therefore it feels cheap. Seconded the lack pinhole feature, not a mistake. To be honest, someone has the pinhole tool to remove the. I think they can figure out the bumper. That's all I gotta say to that. These kind of comments are a bit weird for me. Looks like crap, as you can see at some timestamp, no single encoder. Yeah. Intel and AMD use VA API for encoders. NVIDIA as their own NVENC library for such uses. Apples and oranges, really. So this was for the VAPI translation layer. So you have the library support for encoders and decoders. NVIDIA both has libraries for encoding and decoding on the GPU. I think it's called NVENC and NVDINC. Not very creative, respectively, right? And the software can support the NVIDIA libraries, like I believe MPV natively supports the NVIDIA hardware decoding libraries. But for Firefox, for example, they only support VA API for now. So for using hardware decoding in Firefox on Linux, you need that VAPI translation layer from VAPI to NV decoder to make things work, basically. So not really the kind of smack you were looking for. And this is a good time to, like, these two comments are a good time to bring up why I kind of dislike Linux content, or why I want to make different Linux content. because a lot of this, like a lot of the Linux community are just like Linux consumers and Linux fanboys. Like they'll get into technical conversations they don't fully understand, and they're end users. They're not like developers or anything. They're not interested in a real technical conversation. They're more interested in rooting after a sports team. And we'll get into that later, right? But for example, that's why I'm like a bit hesitant about taking on, the Linux experiment or other like popular Linux channels because I just don't like that type of content. Now I'll get into that later, but AI and stuff could change that where I could pump out that content without any effort, and sort of boost my own channel. But there's a sort of moral problem to that, and we'll get into that later. You having any problems with front panel USB-C? I think my header is loose, flaky. To get a separate PCIe card. Yeah, so that was like the only problem that I had with my build is that my front panel USB-C isn't really working that great. I'm running USB-C right now, but that's because I bought like a separate PCIe to USB-C card. Um, so that's a bit unfortunate, but easy enough workaround. It's like $10. So Ben Lerner's rep goes this far back. Wow. Um, it has evolved through the years as he went through his villain arc. Yeah, this is for my university. I'm actually going to show right now, Northeastern. We have this professor who was really notorious for being, actually no, not notorious. He was really popular for being like a really awesome and nice professor. And then because of that, he got more and more teaching power within the department. And while he's still good, and while he has like the learning interests of students like best at heart, he's a bit like hardcore, and now he's a bit like infamous rather than like famous. And yeah, I love art. This is from back home. Start that. Nice banana. Thanks, Ron. Um, yeah, these are all the comments that I did and I went over when I was trying to record this video and it kept on crashing. So yeah, we'll do a quick review. Pronounced chez moi. Yeah, sorry, that's all I can say. I'm looking for info how to do this. Thanks. No problem, mate. RSX. Yeah, that's the car that I have. I can't believe they guessed it based off of my keys, but honestly, that's awesome. Um, this guy again, interesting. Uh, yeah, this is an interesting point, right? So people say like Flatpaks and snaps are bloated, but that's only really for like your root partition, really, right? And unless you're doing like really data intensive stuff with your own files, then you don't really need like full SSD storage for everything. You can get away with just a large root drive and then a larger home like drive for like your actual like files and games and stuff like that. But yeah, it's interesting. Computers are getting like really good. Like I picked up like a 1 terabyte NVMe drive for like dirt cheap. So I think all this complaints about like Flatpak and Snap are like for older hardware, and with that, it's just like teething pains, growing pains. Um, yeah, interesting. I really think yeah, it's like a interesting case for a server. For me, that's kind of like using Arch as a server. Like you can do it, but it's like a server. I want it to be like an appliance. Like my Blender, I don't want to have to like think about Blender stuff. So I think that's where Micro S for like a bleeding edge server really shows its benefits over something like Arch. But to be honest, like if I was gonna run a server, I'm still gonna run it, and I am still running it. I have a Minecraft server set up on like the Ubuntu LTS until we get like the OpenSUSE equivalent of the Enterprise ALP. Cool. AMD, awesome. Uh, I have a keyboard video coming up, so June, you should be excited. I am doing a AliExpress DIY keyboard video. Um, Thermal pad, yeah. To be honest, like it's not really necessary, but thermal pads are always a good thing to have if you're ever working on like your GPU and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I this is like a very I was talking earlier about like Linux fanboys and stuff like that. This is like the opposite of that. There's like a comment that I really enjoyed and really makes you think, and I enjoyed giving my response to this. So the idea was that yeah, so they're basically saying that they would wish that uh, Ubuntu would do more upstream contributions for the Linux ecosystem, and I was arguing that since they kind of burned all their goodwill for upstream contributions, I think they're sort of taking that anti-hero role and focusing on downstream polish, uh, and sort of making the best like end user scenario, because they don't have conflicting priorities of uh, upstreaming everything versus like stability and long-term support and user polish. So it's a very nuanced and interesting comment, and yeah, I'm hearting that. Um, yeah, this video is also coming out too. I already recorded it, just need to edit it. But I replaced the internal battery for my T480 because that kind of crapped out too. So that's coming out, and I also did like a combo. So I did like the actual AliExpress battery review, and then I also did like how to replace your internal battery and replace the thermal compound on your T40 because mine was completely dried out. How do you have so few many subs? Thank you for the support. Um, yeah, just Linux comment. Um, aw, thank you. Like these comments, I really enjoy. Uh, this as well. People nerding out like ebook readers. Programming language fanboys, same thing. Uh, as the Linux fanboys. Another keyboard video coming up, but yeah, I'm still using this keyboard. Since I'm building a new keyboard, this current one I'm using right now. I'll show it on my screen. I'm making it into my office keyboard, and then I have a new at-home keyboard. Insightful, sure. Again, comment on the battery. I think there's a market for the internal battery video, so that's coming up. Yeah, I think maybe I have to like update this video or see where people are getting stuck because people are apparently getting stuck. There's like 3 thumbs up. But yeah. This one I don't understand. This one, yeah, not really understanding the technical details. This one, this guy is trying to understand the technical details, so I enjoy this one. I wish there was a follow-up. This one, again, tech support. I don't mind these ones. I find it enjoyable. Again, same, like, I had like 3 good comments, and then I had like a bunch of like weird ones. Let's see. Yeah, again. I don't even know why I hearted this one. I'm removing that heart. This one is I'm guessing like Google Translate or something, but yeah. Yeah, I actually ran into this one when I was like debugging my mini PC. So that's what I did. I downloaded the driver and put it on a USB and then installed it off the USB, and then boom, my Wi-Fi would work. But it's like because it was like some weird combination of like AMD and Qualcomm without like built-in drivers to Windows. By using Wayland, yeah. There's a lot of comments, man. How did I do this? I think that's enough for comments. This video is getting pretty long, isn't it? Yeah, 16 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, hopefully you saw your comments in there. I'll trim it down a little bit. As for the whole thing, I'll make a separate video on why I don't like Linux fanboys, basically, and stuff like that. But yeah, cool. Hope you enjoy this part. Second part coming like right after this one. But yeah, see you guys later. So to put out.